We want to talk about ACT, your newly formed political party. But we can't talk about newly formed political parties without getting clarity from you. Did the top 6 of the ANC during your tenure as Secretary General formed a good party?
Well, I'm no more Secretary General of the ANC, so I don't want to talk about the ANC.
So you have no knowledge of that?
No, I can't talk about the ANC.
Have you ever heard of it?
I must talk about ACT.
Have you ever heard of it at least?
Hear about what?
About
Good
the
party.
ANC forming good party.
So your question is, when I was Secretary General, myself and the other five, we established, we are part of establishing good party. I'm saying I can't talk about the ANC. Yeah.
So not that it is not true, you just cannot talk
So
about
basically, I think he's saying you can neither deny it nor confirm it.
Well, it's for the ANC to respond to that question.
Botani Betuna and welcome to the Sheds. We continue to shed light on Utato Ace Magashule. This is part 2. Welcome, Mhlekas.
Welcome, class.
Jada Sabule,
Yeah, do medis.
and thank you for joining us.
Moderator.
We want to talk about ACT, your newly formed political party. But we can't talk about newly formed political parties without getting clarity from you. Did the top 6 of the ANC during your tenure as Secretary General formed a good party?
Well, I'm no more Secretary General of the ANC, so I don't want to talk about the ANC.
So you have no knowledge of that?
No, I can't talk about the ANC.
Have you ever heard of it?
I must talk about ACT.
Have you ever heard of it at least?
Hear about what?
About the ANC forming good party.
So your question is, when I was Secretary General, myself and the other five, we established, we are part of establishing good party. I'm saying I can't talk about the ANC. Yeah.
So not that it is not true, you just cannot talk
So
about
basically, I think he's saying you can neither deny it nor confirm it.
Well, it's for the ANC to respond to that question.
No, thanks, Dada. There are so many political parties in the country already. At some point, you were rumored to be joining EFF. At some point, you were rumored to be joining other political parties. Why did you decide to form your own? Didn't you find a home out there that could mirror your vision, objectives, and what you want to achieve?
No, remember, I engaged and I consulted President Mbeki, President Hamema, President Zuma, veterans of our movement, my branch, and individual leaders across the country. Others are chairpersons of provinces, secretaries of provinces. The people I've worked with during the years of struggle, and the churches, traditional leaders. Actually, the people who motivated me to, and I still don't regard myself as the leader of the party, because we said we'll unveil leadership once people have joined. They are joining thousands and thousands. We busy with our membership. We'll be distributing membership cards and membership forms this coming week. Young people, even including General Clemens, were people who said people are losing hope. Black South Africans, Africans, even white Democrats are losing hope. Everything today, things are collapsing. The middle class is collapsing. People's houses are being repossessed, cars are being repossessed. Young children could go to university, and as far as it's no more assisting that. So they said, you have been expelled from the ANC, so why you can't just sit? And I said, well, we need young leadership. So they said, no, come, let's go. Then I said, no, it makes sense. And I talk to my kids, I talk to my relatives throughout South Africa. I talk to my friends, not comrades, friends I've grown up with. I talk to some of the teachers who taught me. I sought counseling from church leaders, big churches in South Africa. And they all said, but it's not about the name, African National Congress. It's about what we have fought for. Objectives, non-racial South Africa, free movement, free association, all the basic freedoms. So move.
Yeah.
Then I started saying, I'm moving.
On your moving, Sarah, I want to ask this, Magashule. You said before you formed the African Congress for Transformation Act, in short, you consulted with your former leaders, the former presidents of the ANC, the Veterans Leagues, and others. When you informed them that you want to form your own political party or you want to chart your own path, did they give you their blessings? What did they say?
Well, some of them said, but you have what can you do? You have been expelled. The movement has changed. You have been expelled. The ANC used to discuss things and discuss them. You remember even the likes of Kresani at some stage was treated in a particular way. But during those difficult times, but you had an Oliver Tambo, a very strong character, good leader of the ANC. You had Walter Sisulu. You had Bonabu Jacob Zuma. They will sit and discuss and engage until we all have one understanding. It's no more. You either, hey, we don't want you, go. Come, you are expelling people like you don't need them tomorrow. And that's why I can tell you this movement has lost a lot of support on the ground. Maybe it's not about talking, it's about acting. We're going to act and you're going to see it when people act on the ground. And I just give you 2 months. You'll see what South Africans are thinking about African Congress for Transformation. It is their People's Party, is the organization. The guys who came with the logo are young people. We sat for 3-4 months. They designed in this logo and that logo and that logo, that name. And young people, graduates, technical guys who have studied technology and who actually observe the global politics. They said the blood of our people, that's why you see red there. And they said the land, the people, the economy. And we said, no, let's go. We've been with the workers. The guys who have come with this, I still salute them, young people. And I'm surrounded, and we are surrounded by young people who understand and who has no clue about politics, who says that we don't want to hear about your history of struggle. We want food, we want education, we want a better life, we want to have clothes. I want to live like you and others who are now billionaires and multimillionaires, but they have never worked, ever worked in their life. But they are multi-billionaires, and how did they come? So I say, well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you must tell us. So this organization does not need political heavyweights. People emerge out of struggle. I'm happy to work with people who are not known. I was never known. Maybe I was made to be Magashule because I was Premier, I was Secretary General. But I emerged and we fought. Who makes the ANC win elections? And who's going to make us win elections in the next 2024 elections? The ground. Ordinary men and women, young people who have not gone to school. This is not an organization of people who have gone to school only. We want the educated, uneducated, the rich, the poor, everyone, especially black Africans.
When you pitch your political party act, bearing in mind that South Africans, there's nothing they have not been promised by political parties. South Africans have been promised jobs, they remain jobless. They've been promised free education, they still pay a lot of money for education. They've been promised to be taken out of poverty. They remain poor. What is it that you tell people they should join ACT for?
But they became poor. Mandela came in. I served under Mandela. President Mbeki came in. I served under President Mbeki. President Zuma came in. Those years were years of what? Nelidi Lemotsa Khora. Now, 2017, years of what? Poverty, years of reversing the gains of freedom, years of retrenchments, years of privatization. And ACT says no. At least I have a background. When I was premier, when I was in government, remember when I was SG, I was not in government, but I could direct and convince and direct government, also government deploy. But when I was in charge, go and ask how many young people, more than 1,600 or 464 went outside the country to study, because we prioritize leadership of Zuma, prioritize education as number one. Right? President Zuma and Walter Sisulu and Moses Kotane, Standard 3. And our parents, my fathers and my grandfathers, Standard 3 that time you even had a certificate. Remember? And take Jacob Zuma, put him here with somebody who's academically qualified.
Where's LLP?
Where's
LLP?
Certificated,
Yeah.
not educated.
Yeah.
Because you can have certificates, but it doesn't mean you are educated. But we can also have certificate, and you are definitely educated. But there are those who have certificates, but they can't share their education. They are selfish. They think about themselves. Our leaders of the movement, I'm talking about Walter Sisulu, Standard 3, who mentored a lawyer, Nelson Mandela. And people forget about this. Zuma not educated. You can't argue with Zuma if you talk even dialectics. That man is an organic intellectual.
Dr. Magashule, I think during the launch of ACT, you spoke about that there will be more leaders who will be unveiled. And is there a possibility to see, as you're unveiling those names, to see your former presidents such as Jacob Zuma emerging in ACT and other leaders, of course? Are the names ready?
Me, I believe in leaders who emerge out of struggle. I don't believe in people who are made by the media. I believe in people getting nurtured by struggle, by our communities. There are many unknown. They will be known tomorrow. But yes, there are other leaders from other political parties, other leaders who have been decided to live and stay home, who have been in struggles many years ago, not only in the ANC. Yes, they are coming. There will be leaders of the ANC on the ground and at various levels. You'll see from other provincial executive committees in the country. Those leaders are there.
Are you saying there is a leader, even if you don't reveal them now, because I'm sure you want to make a spectacle of that? Are you saying there is a leader who is currently serving in the ANC and you've talked to them?
There are leaders serving at various levels of the ANC.
And they are coming.
Nina, you are looking at the big names. If I get somebody from the provincial executive committee,
Still a lead.
And it's not a guy who shines like us in the media, print media, television, is he not a leader?
He is.
At a high level.
There is a PEC member out there.
There are PEC members.
PEC members, maybe in Eastern Cape, in Limpopo, who are still serving their party. They are going.
They are coming, regional leaders.
So you are crippling the ANC?
No, I'm not crippling the ANC. Those leaders wants to come. And I said, wait, don't cripple that movement of ours, because some of you, if you resign as councillors, you want me to be run by DA. No.
So there are councillors of the ANC who
Yo,
are already in the bag.
There are many.
Is it only from
There are
the
many. But I said to them,
ruling party?
hold on, please.
Yeah.
It's not only from the ruling party.
It's from the
Which
EFF.
other parties?
From many parties.
Okay.
EFF,
Yeah, from many parties.
DA.
DA, they are coming. DA, they are coming.
In numbers.
They are coming in numbers.
Okay.
Magashule,
Yeah.
before you answer Nyaniso's question, I just wanted to find out, you are now with ACT as a political party, and people might be asking them, what is that you did during your tenure as a premier for many years, premier of Free State? Why should they trust you with their votes? What is it that you've done?
I was MEC for 5 departments in the Free State. And I became premier. Ask the farmers when I was MEC Agriculture. Ask Santago when I was MEC for transport. They will talk, they will tell you, because they participated, they are shareholders of Maluti bus service in Kwakwa. As the young kids, there are 9 so-called sex workers we picked up from the streets of Bloemfontein during the night with the church CRC, Pastor Art Boshoff and his team. And we found them trafficked. They were so-called sex workers. Go and check today, they are social workers. They are working for the Free State Government, Department of Social Development. During my time and our time with a collective, ask those children who went to Russia to study medicine, to study nuclear, to study animal veterinary services, as those who went to Bulgaria and Belarus to study agriculture, agro-processing, scientists, as those who went to India, 44 of them who are now full-time with Vodacom, IT, because as those who went to Brazil, panel beaters in Kwakwa, we took them, and they are the ones who even panel beat government cars. As those who are nurses, I took 44 of them to NADCare, Academy of Nursing. Wow. Dr. Friedman. They are full-time nurses. As those who can even went to India for pharmacy and nursing, because there is quality there. As those who went to Washington, D.C. As those young people, every year I was taking them to the Youth Connect in Rwanda. As the young people who did not have licenses across the Free State, we took them to the what is this, driving schools, because we knew that if you want to be a policeman and what have you, they want a license. Ask them, as those who were employed by security companies, I absorbed them. We insourced security services. As those who worked at the various hospitals of the Free State, when they were working for private companies, we informed those companies in time. We gave them a year and asked them they are full-time, because we wanted them also to have the benefits. So ask Free State Stars and the late Mike Mukwena, Jimmy. I took them to the best Porto Academy in Portugal to learn the tricks of football. They met the likes of Ronaldo in Madeira Island, Portugal. They met the guys who propped up Ronaldo and many others, George Mendes. So ask them all those questions so you can see. Ask the more than 12,000 who went to all South African universities, TVET education. We visited them every year without fail. As the ones who were young and did not actually have, the ones working in my offices, MEC's offices, they are now having degrees, masters, honors. how many of them were employed?
The list is endless. That are
Very
of what-
endless.
of
The
what you
homeless
did
asked them,
as a premier. Somebody is unemployed right now and is impressed by what you did as a premier of the Free State Province. What will you do should ACT emerges victorious in the next general election to address unemployment? Give hope to an unemployed person with tangible ideas of what the ACT will do to ensure that everyone is employed in this country.
education is key. If you don't have education, we don't blame you for that. Go to school, go to TVET, because we now want job creators. I want to encourage African black people, young, to come together, think about the business innovation, establish your own enterprises, and make sure that you share ideas. You have great ideas. Don't be job seekers, be job creators. You can create jobs. You can have a saloon.
Yes.
People you blame always from foreigners and what have you. What do? They have a small place like this. You start a saloon and it grows and it grows and it grows. Look at Soweto. Many young people in Soweto wine what. Tomorrow they are doing this and that. Others are doing the whatever. So young people must just think business. And IT, technology is there for them today. I can tell you, think big and be proud and be confident. And don't just be job seekers. It's not about white people more intelligent. We can now allow to do mathematics and science and anything. And that's why there is no township in the whole of the Free State where there isn't any medical doctor. I made sure every township from Parys to Bloemfontein, Tabanchu to Cornelia, the smallest town, there is a medical doctor, there is an IT person, there is a nurse. There are young people who vibrate with ideas.
Dada, in 1 minute, recently the ANC voted in support of impeachment of the public protector, Busisiwe Mkhwebane, the same public protector whom they led the process of appointing against some cries at the time. What is your view? And if you were still there, would you have supported the ANC voting to get out to impeach a public protector, a woman for that matter?
If I was there, they know I was not going to allow it. I did not allow it, and you must ask Ivan Jim Numsa and Crew Association of South Africa. And not only me, the Communist Party, COSAT, we are against retrenchment. And wherever you call it, private partnership of SAA, we said SAA must still be, the majority shareholder must be government because that's an SOE. I could not, and I've publicly said, we can't allow retrenchment at SABC. I could not have agreed, where I was alone there. I said no to the post offices have been closed because people don't want to implement the post bank, a resolution of the African National Congress. I could not have worked with DA because the motion was the DA motion. So what does it tell you? This is the beginning of the ruling party, the ANC governing party, working with the erstwhile enemy, ideological enemy, oppressor of our struggle. Is the beginning. I can tell you, DA comes with a motion. The ANC put Madonsela, not Tuli Madonsela, put Busisiwe Mkhwebane. The ANC fought the DA tooth and nail. And they voted Mkhwebane to be the public protector. She became objective and independent and a strong character. And now is the beginning of the ANC and the DA working together. I will work with those organizations like Bomalema. We share the same constituency. the ideology is almost the same. So we'll work with those organizations. And I'm saying to our people, act is the answer. We are going to act. But we must act with you. Young people, old people, educated, rich and old. Mfundis, lapho khona. Traditional leader, lapho khona. We are the people's organization. Banabisu, act. Wena Soweto Mono, wena Sharpeville, wena Leboa Khomu, wena Tsomo, wherever you are, Getleng, in Northwest, hurry.
Are you going to approach the public protector who's recently been impeached with some covenant to work with you, to act with you?
I support her, a principled woman. I so wish I was still there as Secretary General. We are going to be seeing black excellence has been destroyed. Black excellence from Brian Molefe, Koko, many others. Black people rich, those who are in businesses, those who are surviving, are no more surviving today. The gains of the revolution have been reversed. Act is gonna be the hope of our people. We're now retrenched. We're now who's hopeless and homeless. We're now we have given up. Don't give up, my brother, my sister, my mother, my father. So act is there. We're gonna act against unemployment. We're gonna act against crime. We're gonna act against GBV. We're gonna act against retrenchment and privatization. We're gonna act on behalf of the masses of our people. Wherever you are, hurry.
Any last word, Mtlazi?
The last word before I move, with all your legacy and now you're going to be contesting next day's elections, do you think you'll ever shake off the Gupta and Abela stigma?
I always ask you a question and ask all the premiers who served during our time. Did the ANC make them meet the Guptas at Sheraton Hotel? Premiers. And who were chairpersons also of the ANC. From Zwelin Mkhize, Sylvia Lucas. Ask yourself, why did the ANC, and the ANC did never say we must corrupt the system, we must be part of corruption. I've never done any corruption. But we'll talk about those. But ask them the question, what was that meeting at Sheraton Hotel with premiers and the then Secretary General Gwede Mantashe and the Guptas and the late leader I also liked, Isop Pahat, and just ask that question. Can they give you? What did we discuss? Because I keep the secrets of the organization. That's how I have been nurtured in the
Tara,
ANC.
you've just said the ANC, under the stewardship of the then General Secretary, Secretary General Gwede Mantashe, met with the premiers and the Guptas at Sheraton Hotel.
Let them say no. Yes, I've said it repeatedly so, and consciously and deliberately so, but I'm not giving you the content of that meeting. You must, as people who research, people who analyze, sometimes I don't agree with analysts, because analysts think that their views are final. And, they make as if we have never gone to school like them. And they analyze politics when we have been part of politics. These analysts sometimes think they are the only ones who know. No. That's not the case. But analyze yourself, conclude. I can't talk about the ANC. I'm not angry. That movement I still respect. It's not the organization, but the leaders.
Will you work with them if they approach you, yes or no, for coalitions next year?
Conditions will determine. I'm a Marxist.
Okay. Tara Sabulela Kakhulu for your time. Thank you for joining us.
I'm an African Marxist.
Promise that you'll come back so that we can talk exclusively about your ongoing trial. Where is it? What's happening? And all of that. You must come back to talk about that.
Please.
Yes.
And let me plead one thing with you. Because I hear people say, during your time, there were no potholes. It's 8 years after my time. Now they want to blame me for potholes. During my time, there were no potholes.
You will come back.
I will come back.
So
but I want you to walk the streets
town by town of the
Parys,
Free State.
Ficksburg,
Of the Free
Kwakwa.
State.
Yes.
Then you decide who Magashule is.
Thank you very much. You've been watching the sheds. We've been shedding light on Otatu Ace Magashule. I'm sure you agree that we still need to talk about a lot. Thank you very much for watching the sheds, and keep on watching. Follow us on social media. We continue shedding the light on everything that is topical in this country. Thank you very much.
Somebody said before you
Bye-bye.
close, I must always sing, when our Tengisa, what Tengisa, what Tengisa, what. When our Tengisa, what Tengisa, what.
We now what Bye bye.